Learning podcast. Today's episode is an unpopular opinion. It's a long opinion, so I'm going to jump right in and start immediately. But before that, just a reminder that you can find the link to what I am reading in the info section. Excuse me. In the info section on the YouTube channel for each video, right? And if it's for some reason not there or you can't find it, leave a comment and I'll repost the link. So the title I'll read right now, but again, if you want to follow with me as I'm reading the content, you can find the link in the info section or the about section or whatever for the video on the YouTube channel. Excuse me. Okay, let's get started because it's a long opinion, or at least longer than usual. So here we go. Long flights are actually amazing. 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 And let's go into the elaboration, the explanation, explicação, elaboração da opinião que eu li agora. Okay, let's go. I love long flights, like 10 plus hours or anything close. I get why people might hate flying, but I see so many benefits. Excuse me. You get to meet so many interesting people. Many of them suck, but who cares? You don't have to talk to them. Make up a whole new personality just for the flight. You'll never see them again. Be mean to the sucky people. Be mean to the sucky people. Find someone hot and single? Flirt a bit. You can fit a whole middle school length relationship into that flight. Kiss and cuddle and shit. You'll never see that person again. And there's no one to judge you. Woof. Your phone is off, which can be so relaxing. You're unreachable for the whole duration of the flight. You have no responsibilities at all. You can watch a movie or a few. It's great. I never get to watch movies. Who is this person? Want to stay awake? Lose your absolute shit by getting scared of the loud-ass toilet flushing noise in the bathroom every damn time. Tired as fuck? Go to sleep literally whenever you want without being judged. You're probably flying to a different time zone anyway. You're either skipping a bunch of hours or the entire 10-hour flight is happening within the span of an hour because of time zones. Either way, time is not real. Do what you please. Are you sore because you're getting old as fuck? Get up, walk around, and stretch. Everyone's doing it. You won't be judged. Are you ugly? So is everyone else halfway through the flight. You might be a 3 out of 10 everywhere else. But here, you're a solid 7. Nothing is real. Nothing is real, and there are no rules. Long flights are honestly so amazing. Okay. This was great. Again, I've only read the title before. I might have read, talvez eu pode ter lido. I might have read the story once before, but there's some funny parts in there. Coming up in the next segment, we have the vocab, we have grammar, spoken English, pronunciation, anything and everything English about the reading that we had from Unpopular Opinion user the Recline. And today is the 27th of February, 2023. This is post-Carnival, although not entirely. You might hear it in the morning. long flights are actually amazing. We read the title, we read the elaboration on the opinion about loving long flights, right? And now we're going to break down or go over or review the English. And let's start with flights. Voos, not voos, but voos, de voar, flights in an airplane. Long flights, flights, flights. Let me hide there we go. Let's start with to suck. To suck. Um, this would not in every case translate to chupar, right? Um, Obviously, or maybe not obviously, there are certain circumstances where you might mean to say chupar, like suck it. Uh, don't use that in English. You don't need to be telling people to suck it, but you could. But this is not. The translation here would not be to chupa or chupa. I don't think so. I don't hear people using that so much commonly, right? We don't. When people think of, when people say, I don't know what people think of. When people say, "Ah, that sucks," we're not thinking anything visually of sucking, or no, we're not. It's not. It doesn't have that element, but it more or less is a general word for oh shit or bad, not fun, difficult. So when they say you get to meet so many interesting people, many of them suck, but who cares? Many of them suck would mean, um, varios deles são péssimos. They're not they're bad. They're this guy que pésimo. So it's a general word for bad, whether a typical bad experience, or a bad person or character, or just not fun or difficult, anything in the general category of bad. To make something up, you don't have to talk to them. You do not have to talk to them. Make up a whole new personality just for the flight. So what could that mean, to make up a whole new personality? Inventar, right? To create, to imagine something. So to make something up, to make up a story, to make up a personality, to make up the numbers is to invent out of nowhere, not connected to reality. Sucky. Be mean to the sucky people. Don't be mean to people, but if you're going to be mean, I guess it's okay. It's better if you're mean to the sucky people. As pessoas péssimas, right? Sucky would be the adjective versus the noun, or the verb, right? That sucks. That's a verb. Sucky people, or oh, that was a sucky day, a sucky flight, would be the adjective. So Sucky. To cuddle. To cuddle and shit. Kiss and cuddle and shit. This is the third paragraph. Find someone hot and single. Kiss and cuddle and shit. Cuddle here means like abraçar. It's to be intimate, to be close physically. Usually nothing. How could we say this? So it's different than kissing, right? Because they use kiss and cuddle and shit. Cuddle would be anything like abraçar, physically close and intimate. Nothing wet. No, kissing and cuddling are not the same. Clothes are on usually, but so yeah, to be close, to be intimate. Abraçar is what I've found. I don't. My Portuguese here is a bit not great. To judge. To judge. 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 To think something is good or bad. Julgar. There's no one to judge you. You'll never see that person again, and there's no one to judge you. Julgar. To skip, skipping hours. And we're going to stay on the English here, but I didn't really understand exactly the skipping the hours. I understand time zones, but to skip, you're either skipping a bunch of hours, or the entire 10-hour flight is happening within the span of an hour because of time zones. So to skip a bunch of hours, think of like pular, jump, to jump ahead. You're jumping ahead. To do what you please. Either way, time is not real. Do what you please. Do what you please. Notice here, quick pause before we do this expression. The spoken English, do what you please. Do is the verb, please is the verb as well. So those words are emphasized. You is not emphasized. What is not emphasized or stressed? Do what you please. And we had another example here too, cuddle and shit. To cuddle and shit. And it should say to cuddle and shit. And two, right? Two is kind of lost in there. We don't really. Oh, they didn't use two. Kiss and cuddle and shit. Kiss and cuddle and shit. For the and. Kiss and cuddle and shit. Why does that happen? We don't think about it. Native speakers do not think about it. It's an economy of sounds and words and muscle movement in your mouth. But the substance, right? And is not a verb and it's not a noun. So it gets diminished. Diminuido. Which is very common for anything in English that's not a noun or a verb. Even a modal will get diminished, right? Your phone is off, which can be so relaxing. Your phone is off, which can be so relaxing, which can be so relaxing. Can becomes can be, almost like a syllable for a phrase, can be, or like a new word, right? Can be, might as well be one word, can be. We left off at do what you please. Faça o que quiser. Faça o que quiser. Do what you please. Kind of it's an expression for you have the liberty and freedom to do what you want. Sore, S-O-R-E. Sore. Are you sore because you're getting old as fuck? Sore is a general word for pain, in pain. I am sore. He is sore. I was sore. You're gonna be sore. S-O-R-E. Dolorido. Estar dolorido. As fuck. Or sometimes just AF, especially on social media. AF, as fuck. That would mean, and I don't use this in Portuguese. I say as fuck in English. I don't use this expression in Portuguese. Pra caralho. Pra caralho. Pra cá. Maybe pra cá. I don't know if that's an actual abbreviation, but a lot. Quantifier. A lot. A lot. Super tired. Tired as fuck. So there you go. There's the maybe more socially acceptable version. Super tired. You sore because you're super tired or you're getting super old. Get up, walk around. To stretch. To stretch. Walk around, stretch. Everyone's doing it. You won't be julgado. You won't be judged. Esticar. Esticar. To stretch. To use your body. To extend. To feel better. That is it for our. It's a lot. I did it kind of fast this episode because there was a lot. It was a long opinion. So reading it was long, and then doing the vocab was long too. There's a lot of usable words in here, though. A lot of things here that are very, very suck. It's such a common word. Ah, that sucks. How was your day? Oh, it sucked. So judge is a common one. Skip for pular or to avoid or elude. Do what you please. And the spoken English. Every episode I could do. I could do an entire episode of each of these readings just about the spoken English because it's so different than careful or written English. The pronunciation when we're speaking is a lot different than saying all of the words equally. We do not do that. But our final example, I guess, from the same reading, do what you please. Do what you please. Where the you gets diminished, right? But that happens for lots of words in English. Coming up next, questions and conversation about long flights. Flights are actually amazing. Long flights are actually amazing. We did the title, we did the reading, we did the English, everything English. Now we have some questions and conversation about the topic of flying in an airplane. So, what are your thoughts and feelings about long flights? What are your thoughts and feelings about long flights? Quais são os seus pensamentos e sentimentos sobre voos? My pronunciation good on that. Voos longes. My thoughts. If I am, I don't mind long flights. A lot of the things in here I can relate to. My phone is probably not off. I probably have a podcast on, or I'm not gonna read on a long flight unless I want to sleep. I can't read while I'm moving, or I will fall asleep. Absolutely. So my thoughts about long flights, I like seeing different people. I like the little weird different environment everybody is in. Even first class, it's a bit I've never been in first class. But being stuck on an airplane for 10, 12, 13 hours is not good for anyone. Physically challenging. But yeah, I like seeing people, different people on a long flight, wondering, thinking where'd they come from, where they going. Have a little conversation here, a little conversation there. I do like it. I love traveling, and not just being in different places. I love the traveling part of traveling. It's a great moment for reflection. You're not where you're going, and you're not where you are coming from. You're not anywhere. You're between places, between spaces, and I think it's an interesting moment psychologically. You're coming from somewhere, bringing with you all of the things and feelings and everything that is going on in your life. So most of it comes with you, and you arrive somewhere, and you have an agenda, and you have activities and fun, but you're not actually a new person, but you feel new. You feel refreshed being somewhere new, especially after a long flight. So, those are my thoughts and feelings on long flights. If you have never been on a long flight, what do you think would be the most difficult part? Se você nunca estivesse num voo longe, ou longo, I don't remember, longe ou longo, o que você acharia seria a parte mais difícil fisicamente, physically, mentalmente? What would it be? Or o medo de ficar no ar, o medo das coisas que pode acontecer, mas statistically don't really happen, but the fear, right, of being high in the sky, not having control, small space. What do you think would be the most difficult part? On a flight, or in the bus, or on the metro, or on a bigger train? Are you socializing on these things? Are you socializing? No voo, no bus, no metrô, no trem. Você está socializando ou não? E por que sim, por que não? For me on the metro, I love looking around at people. I love people watching, seeing people, what they're doing. Um, on the airplane, depends on how long. If it's a 1 hour, 2 hour flight, probably not. If it's a long flight, certainly not the whole time, not the entire time, but some of it, yeah. On the bus, not so much. I'm not doing so much talking on the bus. The bus is loud too. It's not so easy to be just chatting and talking on the bus unless you're making a friend sitting right next to you. Which even then, the bus is kind of rough because you're going to and from work too. Flights different. Flights, people vacationing, business trips. Metro's different too. It's a little bit easier. You have more space. Um, Number four, do you feel more or less attractive comparatively on an airplane or a bus or a metro or a train? Se você sente mais ou menos atrativo, bonita, bonito, comparativamente, num voo, num ônibus, no metrô, no trem? That's a good question. I don't think I feel more attractive. Um, I just think there's something romantic about being in transit, be traveling. Is there's a romantic feeling of anything could happen. I'm in a different environment. My senses are kind of tingling, and you know, things that you read about or see in films or TV or books, a lot of those stories, happen to people who just meet. And, when you're in your normal life, you don't meet as many new people. You have the same people, the same places. And being on an airplane, a bus, a metro, train, I think, again, less the bus and maybe even less the metro, but a train or an airplane or even the metro, you get to see different people, and that feels like opportunity. So I don't think I feel more or less attractive. Certainly on an airplane, it's like one of the most unattractive. You just a long airplane flight. Oh God, your neck, your hair is it's all fucked. Our final question and stimulus for conversation. Airplane chairs, do you recline or stay in the original position? Airplane chairs, do you recline or stay in the normal position? Why or why not? I had to look for the word. Full disclosure, I had to double check the word recline in Portuguese. And it was as simple as just adding the AR. Reclinar. Airplane chairs, cadeiras no voo. Você reclina ou recline ou fica na posição original? Por que sim, por que não? Hey, if I'm on an airplane and the chair can recline and I'm on a 10-hour flight, I'm going to recline if I'm sleeping. If I'm not sleeping, whatever. I'm probably not going to recline. But if I'm going to go or try to go to sleep, I am reclining. I don't care what the etiquette is. If the chair is able to recline and I want to sleep, I will recline. Which makes me think, what are some other do's and do nots, do's and don'ts on airplanes? Um, some do's and don'ts. Let's see. Do's: greet or say hello to your fellow passengers. Eh, I don't know, man. I mean, you can say hi to the people next to you, but you don't need to walk down the aisle saying hello, hey, hello, hey, hello, hello, hi. No, I don't think. But pack a toothbrush for long flights. It's a great idea. I've never done it, and I probably will never. But it is a great idea. Bring a toothbrush. Pack a toothbrush. Pack nicotine products. Well, I'm not a nicotine habitual user, so not applicable. Consider passengers traveling together. Interesting. Are you going to give up your seat for someone who wants to sit with their mom or their dad or their brother or their sister or their friend? Are you going to change seats? Depends. And if I've never been asked, I've never been asked this on the airplane. But if someone asked me, I might try to get something from the airline company. Um, Coronavirus things. Don't drink too much. Uh, Depends who you are. Drinking too much is never good. But if you drink too much and fall asleep, that's different than drinking too much and, you know, trying to walk to the bathroom and falling down. Don't bring smelly food. Yeah. Don't bring stinky food. Don't eat tuna on an airplane, even egg. Yeah, I think a burger is okay. A burger doesn't smell bad, but it's strong smell. So anything else? I don't know. I think one more. Don't be looking at your neighbor's phone screens. Um, don't be doing that. And do any other do's? Headphones, man. Bring headphones. If you don't have headphones on an airplane, you're fucked. I don't know what would anybody do without headphones besides sleep and talk. And those two things you can do, I understand, but you can only talk and sleep so much on a 10, 12, 13 hour flight. So that's it. That's all we got for today's episode. Long flights are actually amazing. And I agree. I do agree. Long flights are amazing. They are difficult. And you know, if you have to make long flights all the time, you probably think this is insane. But if you take one big trip every couple of years, a long flight's fun. I find these things fun, and a little bit exciting, and just a strange, in between purgatory place when you're making a big trip. And then the return flight too is even exciting because you just went somewhere, you did some things, you're on vacation, maybe a long business trip, and you have time to reflect and digest, digerir, antes de chegar na casa e voltar à rotina normal da vida, normal, todo normal. Being on an airplane is, it's such a strange, different moment, with strangers, with estrangeiros, people that you don't know and never will see again. So, inscrever, subscribe to the channel, give me a like or a dislike, whatever. The algorithm will figure out which one is more important. Leave a comment, a criticism, feedback, answers to the questions. Right, you can think about the questions at home. You can write down answers and just read them yourself, or you can share them with me on the YouTube page. So if you interact with me on the YouTube page, in the comment section, whatever, I absolutely response.